Chapter 5. Hidden Istanbul. Secrets, Legends, and the Unexpected. Istanbul is loud, bright, and chaotic, sure. But underneath the noise, behind the glossy postcards and tourist crowds, there's another version of the city. A quieter one. Stranger. Older. It hides under streets, behind unmarked doors, and inside stories whispered over tea. This is Hidden Istanbul, the side that doesn't make the travel brochures, but will absolutely mess with your sense of reality. The layers beneath your feet. Istanbul isn't built on one city. It's built on many. Romans, Byzantines, Ottomans, each left a version of their city stacked like lasagna. Walk through Sultanahmet and you're literally walking over empires. Beneath those cobbled streets, cisterns, tunnels, crypts, ancient infrastructure that still breathes. The most famous is the Basilica Cistern or Yerebatin Sarnik. Picture this, an underground cathedral of stone columns rising from dark water, each one lit in gold. Built in the 6th century to store water for the Byzantine palace, it's now one of the eeriest, most beautiful places in Istanbul. Two mysterious Medusa heads hold up columns in one corner, their faces turned sideways and upside down. No one really knows why. Maybe to neutralize her power, maybe just architectural sass. Either way, it works. Down there, time feels irrelevant. The city above might be honking and hustling, but here, just the sound of dripping water echoing through centuries. The church that became a mosque, that became a museum, that became a mosque again. Few buildings on earth have lived as many lives as the Hagia Sophia. It's a survivor, a shapeshifter, and a drama queen in stone. Built in 537 AD as a Byzantine church, it became a mosque after the Ottoman conquest, then a museum. And then, yep, a mosque again in 2020. Mosaics of Christ shimmer above Islamic calligraphy. Marble floors worn smooth by 1,000 years of footsteps. It's not a monument, it's a conversation between civilizations. Stand beneath that vast dome and look up. Even the air feels holy, heavy with centuries of awe. And if you listen close enough, you can almost hear the ghosts of empires comparing notes. The forgotten synagogues and hidden faiths. Istanbul isn't just Muslim and Christian history, it's a kaleidoscope of faiths. For centuries, Jews, Armenians, Greeks, and others lived side by side, leaving behind hidden sanctuaries tucked between alleys and modern apartments. In the Balat district, faded facades hide the Arita Synagogue, one of the oldest in Europe. Its wooden arch is shaped like a ship's bow, symbolizing Noah's Ark, fitting, considering how much the city has weathered. Many of these places don't even have signs. You'll pass them 100 times without knowing they're there. That's the thing about Istanbul. It guards its sacred spaces like secrets, offering them only to those who ask gently. Underground Istanbul. Cisterns, catacombs, and subterranean myths beyond the famous Basilica Cistern. There's an entire world of underground wonders that most travelers never see. The Binberdurek Cistern of 1,000 columns, hides near Sultanahmet, built for a Roman palace that vanished centuries ago. Unlike the Basilica, this one feels raw, less polished, more haunted. Then there's the Theodosia Cistern, restored in 2018 and now open with mood lighting that makes it feel like an art installation married to a history lesson. And let's not forget the legendary tunnels, said to connect Topkapi Palace to Hagia Sophia, escape routes, secret passages, or maybe just urban myth. No one's found them for sure, but the idea alone adds spice to the city's imagination. Because that's Istanbul for you, always a little more story than truth. Topkapi Palace. Power, poison, and silks. Everyone knows Topkapi as the palace of the Ottoman sultans, but the tourist brochures leave out the juicy parts. Behind those gardens and courtyards was a world of politics, love, and scandal. Basically the world's most luxurious soap opera. The harem wasn't just a ladies' quarters, it was a power center. Sultans, wives, concubines, eunuchs, each played their own game of survival and influence. Walk those tiled corridors and you can almost hear the whispers. Alliances made over sherbet, betrayals written in rosewater ink. The walls are lined with Iznik tiles and blues, so rich they could hypnotize you. And then there's the imperial treasury, holding relics like the Prophet Muhammad's sword and the legendary Topkapi dagger, gold, emeralds, and a history of theft attempts straight out of a heist movie. Topkapi isn't just a museum, it's proof that luxury and danger were once roommates. Balat and Fener. The old soul of Istanbul while the rest of the city races into modernity. Balat and Fener stay defiantly nostalgic. These neighborhoods, with their rainbow-colored houses and slanted cobblestones, were once home to Jewish and Greek communities. Now they're a mashup of antique shops, bohemian cafes, and kids playing soccer next to 15th century churches. The Greek Orthodox Patriarchate, still active today, sits quietly here, a global spiritual seat hidden behind unassuming gates. What makes Balat special isn't just the architecture. It's the feeling. Every corner seems to have a story. Some tragic, some beautiful, all deeply human. And yes, it's Instagram heaven, but don't just come for the photos. Come for the conversations, the tea, the unhurried rhythm of people who know the world will spin fast enough without them. Prince's Islands, a silent escape if the city ever gets too loud, and there's salvation floating just offshore. A ferry ride away lies the Prince's Islands, a cluster of 9 car-free havens that feel like time took a detour. The biggest, Bu Kata, is where Istanbul's elite once built wooden mansions wrapped in jasmine and secrets. Today, the air smells like pine and sea salt. Locals bike, stroll, or ride horse-drawn carriages, well, now electric carts, animal-free, thankfully. There are no horns, no rush, just seagulls and the sound of bicycle bells. Grab ice cream, climb up to Aya Yorgi Church, and look back at the city across the water. It feels unreal, like you rewatching a movie about a place that can't possibly exist, yet somehow does. The legends that refuse to die, no city this old gets away without a few good legends. And Istanbul? It's practically built on them. They say Empress Zoe still haunts the Hagia Sophia, searching for her lost crown. They say tunnels under the city lead to Byzantine treasure, Ottoman prisons, and maybe even older civilizations waiting to be rediscovered. Some swear that Galata Tower was once home to a man who flew across the Bosphorus using homemade wings. Historians call him Sultanahmet Kelebi. Locals call him proof that Istanbul breeds dreamers who don't take impossible seriously. And then there's the Maiden's Tower, that tiny island fortress off Üsküdar. According to legend, a sultan built it to protect his daughter from a prophecy that she'd die from a snake bite, only for a snake to sneak inside a fruit basket. Moral of the story? Destiny always delivers. Today, the tower glows every night, half love story, half warning label. Hidden courtyards, secret cafes, and local whispers. One of Istanbul's best-kept secrets isn't underground, it's behind closed doors. Step into Kagalaklu Hamami, a centuries-old Turkish bath where marble, steam, and history merge. Or find a quiet corner in Kurululu Ali Pasa Madrasesi, where students once studied theology and now locals smoke apple-scented shisha under the stars. Wander through Kukar Kuma, a treasure trove of antiques and curiosities. Dusty books, Ottoman mirrors, forgotten furniture with a faint smell of nostalgia. Every shop feels like it might swallow you into another century. And then, somewhere between all that exploring, find a tea garden that doesn't appear on Google Maps. Because those are the ones that change you, where old men play backgammon, cats nap under tables, and time politely stops bothering you. The magic you can't photograph in a city this photogenic, it's easy to forget that not everything worth remembering fits in a frame. Sometimes it's the way fog rolls off the Bosphorus at dawn. Sometimes it's the silence after the call to prayer, or the laughter from a street cafe you'll never find again. Istanbul's real magic isn't in its monuments, it's in its moments. Fleeting, unpredictable, and always half a mystery. Up next, in the next episode, we dive into the creative side, from Byzantine mosaics to street murals, from Ottoman elegance to rebellious graffiti.